fingers like you dummies. The night is young, girl, what can you do for me? 6 figures, 5 shows, big ballin'. Look, I'm very important. I took a break, had some things I had to get sorted. I might retire in my prime like I'm M. Jordan. Table dancing in Southampton. Use the glasses for Vanish. Be cooling out in the whip, but I done near every girl on my list. KD at the 3, Djokovic with the racket. Phelps in the pool, I'm like Speed at the Masters. Girl, you know you a bad. Girl, you know I'm a savage. They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, caught the rack in my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands. I'm the American dream. We the American dream. No money, no class, look at them. Another day in the USA. Just another day in America. Kids from my hood look up to the system set us up for failure. I just want to make enough to pay dividends, then invest in black businesses. They teach us to hate what we see in the mirror, but it can't break our spirit. They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, caught the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands. I'm the American dream. We the American dream. No money, no class, look at them.
Somebody call for the queen.
Thank you, Coach. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Miami Dolphins and the Seattle Seahawks. Fall is in the air, and the NFL season is in full swing, and we're underway here in Week 4. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
All right, here we go. Green 39! Green 39!
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Leopard, Leopard. Come on, QB, come on. Watch it now, Barney, Barney. Leopard, Leopard. Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
Right back to him on first down. To the 40 and no further, so the razzle-dazzle didn't get him much. Shaquille Griffin in on the stop defensively.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney. Watch tight end, watch tight end. Key to tight end.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll lose lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Leopard! Gun!
They'll set up to throw. Over the middle, it's complete. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. He makes a wonderful play there off the corner, protecting his side of the field.
Oh, that reminds me of the great defenses of old, doesn't it? The Pittsburgh Steelers, Steel Curtain. They would not let you get on the field if you could only do one thing. You had to be a complete guy, and you had to be able to tackle.
Now, I know I've said this before, but you know I wasn't alive when the Steel Curtain was played. I know them, but I just want to let you know I wasn't alive.
I'm going to keep peppering that in there, and one of these days you're going to think that you were.
Now, a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. They'll set up a throw. Steps away. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th.
4 down, check, 4 down. Gun!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this crowd into it early. Their guys stand tall on the opening drive of the football game. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 45. Here's the first carry for Alex Collins. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. And on the stop defensively, Raekwon McMillan.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Watch tight. Tight end right. Right, blue 15. Hey. 4 down.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. Leaves it for Petty. Still fighting for more. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Green 80.
Now Wilson on second down. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. A'Shawn Robinson breaking through to get him for a loss of 7. Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And this is Shepard on the catch. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
And that was a nice catch, and if the goal was to get into field goal range, it certainly appears that they accomplished that.
Well, and sometimes that's what you dial up in these situations, right, when you want 3?
Well, if the goal was to get into field goal territory, even though it'll be a long attempt, I think they accomplished that.
And sometimes you have plays for that. It's not always a first down. When you want 3, get a little bit closer, make it an easier shot.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to concede to the defense, and they know what you're trying to get done, and to try and get any more than that is almost folly. Take what you can get, maybe have an opportunity to put 3 points on the board.
That one good for 17 yards on 4th. Couldn't ask for much more from your offense there. First down. An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. Wilson gives to Collins. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Now Wilson. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it. They love it because now everyone gets locked in. The confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down.
Watch tight end, watch tight end. Tight right.
They pitch it out to Collins. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Alex Collins, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And out come the Dolphins now. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. They go play action here on first down. He's going to loft one and got his man complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. And that one results in 35 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here on first down. Escaping the pressure right. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's 2nd down. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. On play action, they'll throw. Rolling to his right. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since. He'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he gets it down to the 32. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He can run for it, and he will. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. So they tried it. Not only did they not get the first, they fumbled it away.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it went from bad to worse, but I know that everyone's going to pile in on the call and say, well, what are you doing? Why would you go for it there? I think that teams that are convinced that they feel pretty good about their game plan, what they want to get done that day, go for it. Give it a try. Hey, let's see if your defense can rescue them a little bit.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 38 yards on the scamper there.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to, but they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Wilson now with a handoff to Collins. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, here's Penny. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. The tackle made there by Dayon Buchanan.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Here's Wilson. They set up the screen to Penny. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. The offense staying out there. They look prepared to go here on 4th and 10. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. Flush to his right. And that is going to be incomplete. The Seahawks go for it but can't convert. And the Dolphins defense is able to hold. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Tight end right. Tight end right. 4 down.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this.
Hey. 4 down.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Rolling to his left. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
They'll roll him out right. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. Amari Cooper, 36 yards. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
On second down, Collins. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as he'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Wilson on first down. Flushed out right. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Baldwin with it over the middle. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. he's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Let's go work. Let's go to work.
They go play action now. Wilson. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So a touchdown apiece. That's what we have the show at halftime as they head to the locker room. 7-7 our score. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. Set and ready to go for the second half. One touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter three.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. They run with Collins. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On first, they go right back to Collins, fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. The Seahawks on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Here's Wilson to throw. Escaping the pressure right. He dumps it off to Drake. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Here's a 1st down run with Collins. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. And that's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Gun.
On 2nd down, Wilson flush to his right. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Give him 9 on the play, and all of a sudden here it's 3rd down.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on 2nd down.
A field goal would get him the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down.
Hey, boys, we got 4.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Well, man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. And his kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Gun.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Being chased out left. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Cooper was the target there, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Nazir Jones with a big-time sack on 3rd down, and it'll be a loss of 7. Here's Matt Hawk now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Hey, tempo. You ready for one word?
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Watch that end. Tight end's right.
Now Collins. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
On 1st down, Drake. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. They stay on the ground with Drake. And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Kenyon Drake, his first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs.
Now he'll be hit from behind, and he is landed on hard. Frank Clark in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Detroit! Detroit!
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Out to his left. And that is incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. On the move to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. Oh, he can't hang on to it. Almost intercepted. They would have loved the first pick of the game there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. Now he steps away. Now he'll let it go deep, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Carl Joseph, and his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. On 4th down, that turned out like a punt. Maybe he was better defensively there just to knock it down.
And you know they go over those situations. All right, 4th down, where's the ball? Where would we get the ball? But instinct takes over, and when it's in the air, they just go and get it. So it's hard to get on him for intercepting it, but the smart play would have been what you suggested. Knock it down and take over in a deeper position.
He lost 9 there. That's really going to set him back for 2nd down.
We got three, fellas. We got 3.
Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th and final quarter. And again, it's Collins. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long. Now Wilson. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he had a nifty little deke juke move, but he stopped shortly thereafter. 5 yards on the screen, but that'll take us to 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's able to get up here to the 26. A gain of 6 there on first.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4.
Leopard! Leopard!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Seahawks have recovered.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over, but that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a two-possession game. It is a two-possession game at this stage in the fourth. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
This is Collins on the handoff. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. They go again with Collins. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. On 3rd down, this is Collins. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Now the Dolphins are going to take another timeout here. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with one more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. And his kick here is good. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Forced out to his left. Now he's going to throw deep back over the... And that's caught inside the 30. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. A big play there for the Dolphins. 61 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. In for the score. And the Dolphins able to get this back within a touchdown.
Big score. First step in their attempt to climb back into this game.
Yes, but still some work to do as they get within a score here. Extra point good by Hopkins. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a one-score, 6-point game. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. This is Collins on the toss. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Trailing in the 4th, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. On the give, this is Collins running left. Finding room inside the 40. And finally down at the 32-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
We got 4.
Now a give to Collins. And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Mika Fitzpatrick made the play defensively, the first-round pick out of Alabama.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine.
53, Mike. Come on, D. Hey, alert 3.
And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action and hit them over the top.
Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. The Seahawks on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
And his kick is good. And that will make this a 9-point lead. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Seahawks, it'll be a 500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they'll have another home date next week as the L.A. Rams come to town. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, they also will exit this one at 2-2. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Arizona Cardinals. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.